We had begun with the fourth unit under international business, which talks about international marketing intelligence. We covered the topics of what is marketing intelligence and what is international marketing intelligence and what are the types of information required. We worked on competition, product, as well as marketing mix. Moving on, today's topic is international marketing information system. So here we are trying to talk largely about the marketing system that has evolved because of foreign trade. So in short, we call this as IMIS. So IMIS is an integrated and comprehensive network of information relating to all areas of international business, having a direct and indirect bearing on marketing. So, as we look at the heading, we are talking about marketing on an international platform. So, what exactly is IMIS? IMIS is a system, right? Now, what does a system consist of? In this aspect, it consists of gathering or collecting comprehensive information. So, what kind of information which is directly or indirectly connected to marketing aspects of foreign trade? So, is the information only relating to one country, one market? No, it is a network of information. That means all the areas that is covering of foreign trade. We can say exporting, importing, franchising, licensing, any modes of international business related to marketing will be collecting the information. Now, what is the purpose of this system? It is to provide relevant and accurate information at the right time. Why or what is the purpose of maintaining IMIS? IMIS is to provide. What are we providing through this system? Relevant and accurate information. Right? So every business, every day, we need to make choices or decisions. At large, it is going to impact all the employees or departments or branches across the organization. Therefore, in order to make wise decisions or choices, you need to have rightful or accurate information and at the right time. So, when you prepare a system or there is a department that maintains or manages the information of foreign trade, it becomes more relevant when you make a decision and place for decision making and implementation. So, you not just make a choice or decision for the company, but you also implement the same. So, that is about what is international marketing information system. Let's understand what are the objectives. One by one, to develop new products. Now, which company or which organization does not want to innovate? Right? Every company, whether they're service minded or manufacturing of a product, every company out there wants to start out something new. If you have really closely observed all the advertisements on your TV, they all start with the word new, NEW, right? A new feature, new product, new launch, new brand. Have you heard of this word so often? That is the word that's something that catches the attention of the viewer or attention at a large society or consumer, right? So that is why businesses, even as they explore themselves into international business or foreign trade, would want to develop new products. And when that can be established is when you have the marketing information of your neighboring markets. Isn't that? So when you know what country A, country B, country C, what are the products they prefer? What is that is lacking or that is not fulfilling the need by the existing product? Something that you can introduce, something that you can provide. Now, let's say for an example, vehicles or two-wheelers. We have petrol that is required or diesel that is required to run your vehicles. But because we see day by day, due to the import of petrol, we are seeing a drastic rise in the petrol prices. There comes a market for a new product. What is the new product in this example? Electric scooters or electric vehicles, isn't that? So that's how they develop product, by analyzing the information or by analyzing the market. Number two is to improve existing products, right? So, improvisation of your existing product lines or existing service lines is equally important as much as you're developing a new product. Because if you're going to keep the same product, people might get bored. Isn't that? So often we all get bored of the products, bored of the dishes that we cook at home, bored of the TV shows that we see. We so often get bored. Therefore, we need to what? Improvise on those existing products and services, isn't it? So let's say, we can talk about the company Horlicks. They started off with a basic healthy drink, or a kind of a formula to be mixed with milk and be served, right? So when they started off with the market with one formula drink or one Horlicks flavor, it really hit the market, right? They started improvising, right? They did not create something else, but out of the existing product, they started improvising, right? Especially with the marketing abilities. Let's say, the brand ambassador for Horlicks or for Boost or for Bonevita. You see the ads changing. You see the flavors they have introduced for kids, for women about 30, for infants. See the categories of improvisation they have done. What does that result in? Better business, isn't it? So, marketing information helps you to also improvise on your existing products. Number three, make changes in promotion, price, and distribution strategies. So, this international marketing information enables each organization to change their promotion strategies. How do I promote in the home country? I cannot copy the same strategy when I'm moving to a foreign market, isn't it? Because the audience over there, or the society, the people, the government, the law, everything changes when you cross the boundaries, isn't it? So, therefore, even your promotion strategies, the pricing strategies, the distribution strategies, all of them have to change as you move from one place to another, especially when you're talking about on an international business, right? The pricing strategies. So before you price a product, you need to look into the affordability of people. If you're going to set it too high, people are not going to buy it, right? If you're going to set it too low, people think it's of a low standard product or a low quality product. Therefore, you need to analyze the market, analyze at what price are people willing to buy. What is the market standard for my product? So you need to analyze carefully in the foreign markets before you finalize or fix the selling price. And then we have the distribution. Now, distribution we are talking about from reaching from the manufacturing unit. That is where the product is been manufactured all the way traveling to the customer where it is consumed. Right? So, this journey from moving point A, that is manufacturing unit, to point B, the customer who enjoys the product, the distance between them is called as distribution, or we call it as otherwise logistics, the transport. The wholesaler comes into picture, retailer comes into picture, broker comes into picture, right? So these strategies also have to change when you move borders. Number 4, we have anticipate the competitive move and develop competitive strategy. So in the national or the home country, your competition is very limited, right? You know who your competitors are, and you know their psychology, or you know them, right? Because they are citizens of your own country, right? It is very easy to, or comparatively very easy to tackle the competitors in your home country. But that is not the case when you move outside of your country, right? So the entire competition strategies, who your competitors are, how many competitions do you need to face, or you need to standardize your product according to that quality, will definitely change. So with this system of international marketing information, it will help you to anticipate, right? Only when you have the information about the market, it will help you plan or estimate or anticipate what is the next move of the competitor, and how should I develop that competitor strategy? How do I face them? How do I prepare myself in order to face the competition in the market? Right? So this system IMIS anticipates the move and also develops strategies. Number 5, we have minimizing investment risk to detect threat and early market trends. All these points are really important. Don't you think so? I'm not talking about minimizing investment. What am I talking about? Minimizing investment risk. That means to say that with every investment, right? Whether you're into digital assets, your physical assets, or any kind of investment avenue you plan to do, there's some amount of risk, some amount of return element, isn't it? So when you have a large and wide information about various markets, nations, economies, respect to the laws, respect to the fluctuations in the currencies, etc., it helps you to minimize your investment risk, because nobody wants to lose their invested money, right? At least with a decent returns is what an investor would expect. So therefore, this IMIS will enable you to minimize the investment risk, to detect threats. We just read about competitive move, isn't that? So that becomes your threat. So you're going to lose your customers in case you do not know what your competitor's move is. So it helps you to identify or detect threat. What is that is upcoming change that government is going to, or the law is going to induce upon you, isn't it? Or what is that, some kind of a natural, let's say it's a disaster or natural calamity that might hit your company, or that might hit your industry. So you need to be aware of that threat that's coming towards you, and early market trends. So no company wants to launch its products after the trend has been completed, isn't it? Nobody wants to, showcase old-fashioned trends, right? Every company wants to be in par with the current market trends or situations. So therefore, this IMIS system enables the companies to early marketers to identify the market trends and go with the trend, or update themselves along with the changing market situations. Point 6, we have to provide better customer satisfaction. This is very important, isn't it? For every company, whether it's a hotel business or whether it's a product company or a trading company, at the end of the day, you're looking for satisfaction from your customer. Is your customer happy, enjoying the product? Is your customer satisfied with the service you have rendered to them? Isn't that the primary importance of any company apart from making profits? Definitely yes. So this marketing information will provide you to make enough strategies, or to change your plans, or to promote in such a way that it would definitely satisfy the customers, right? It enables you to know the tastes and preferences of people, because you're not dealing with customers of a particular society, maybe handful of people. You're dealing with customers across borders, I'm talking about international business. That means it can cross countries, it can cross, continents. It can cross even continents when you're talking about international business. So when you have such a varied or a very broad customer perspective, it is important to identify what is that satisfies the customers. So with the available information, it will help me to shape my products, my services that will satisfy the customers. Number 7, we have information for better market selection and positioning and to understand and to discover untapped potential. This is a very crucial objective why we need IMIS. So it says, why is this information required? For better market selection. If any local trader in our own country, let's say he wants to move out of the country and start a business, does he has to go by luck? No, he needs to analyze and study the market. When you have IMIS in place, it helps you based on the information gathered, you can analyze and select the market you want to launch your product in. Doesn't that make the business much more simpler? Isn't it? By selecting which market, is it market A, country A, B, and C? Where do you want to launch your product? Where do you want to extend your business? How do you need to position your product? Because when you are entering into a foreign market, you need to be aware there are already existing international competition over there. So you really need to be aware how are you going to position your brand or your product or your service amongst all those competitors and to understand and discover the untapped potential. So this information helps us to understand. What are we trying to understand? We're going to discover the untapped potential, right? Unless and until you actually go out of your country and start manufacturing or selling your goods, you never know that your product can be a great hit in country A, B, and C as well, isn't it? So it helps you to discover those potentials that you hadn't tapped earlier. So IMIS enables you to actually explore certain potential markets that can boost your international sales, right? It helps you understand, it helps you discover those potentials which can actually explore your business activities along with maximizing your profit and maximizing the brand value of your company. Isn't that? So these are the 7 different objectives of why we require international marketing information system: to develop new products, 2 to improve existing products, 3 to make changes in promotion, price and distribution strategies, number 4 anticipate the competitive move and develop competitive strategies, number 5 minimize investment risk, threat and early market trends, 6 to provide better customer satisfaction, 7 talks about market selection, positioning, and discovering the untapped potential.